Aurora. Aurora. Yeah. Hey. 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 Hi guys, long time no see. As you might have noticed, weeks have gone by and I haven't uploaded any videos. That's just because, well, my boyfriend was at home and we just spent time together, and also Aurora has gone through difficult periods, but we'll get on to that. I don't know why I'm so handsy today. I haven't filmed in such a long time, so I guess I need to speak with my hands as well. Anyways, today's video is about Aurora's first 2 months of life and also my postpartum recovery. I have my notes written down in my laptop because mom brain forgets everything. So I'm just gonna check my notes. Aurora should be asleep right now, but I can hear her not being asleep. Doesn't matter, she's with her dad. This is my time right now. So let's get started. Let's talk about her, why don't we? When she was born, she weighed 3,486 grams and was 50 centimeters long, short, I don't know. Either way, she was, is, and always will be perfect. In the first month, she gained quite a lot of weight, but not too much. So in her first month's checkup, she weighed 4,900 grams, which is almost 5 kilos, and was 56 centimeters long. So 6 centimeters of growth in the first month, in 4 weeks. Like, damn, that's crazy. And we just had her second monthly checkup, so 2-month checkup, yesterday. I'm filming this one day before her 2-month birthday, and she weighed 5,740 grams and was 59 centimeters. So didn't gain as much weight as the first one, and didn't grow as much, but it was completely normal and fine. The doctor was really happy with her development and everything. So how's our first 2 months of living with a baby have been? Well, just to clarify, she is breastfed only. I'm her food, or like her plate, I guess. I'm pumping a little bit, and she has had like breast milk from a bottle a few times. We actually have a little event we're gonna go to, and I'm hoping to only give her a bottle during that time, so I have some milk pumped out. But we'll see how that goes. It's gonna be her first like really like outing, I guess. We've had a few guests, but I mean, there's gonna be a lot more people there than there have been at home with us. Anyway, she's breastfed only. We are not doing any kind of like sleep training, or we're not gonna try to put her in some kind of frames. We're just gonna let her be a baby, but we're gonna try to make the best of her time and our time. So first tough thing with babies, and it comes as no surprise, is sleep. Actually, she's a pretty good sleeper, or used to be. I'll get to that in a little bit. But during like the first weeks, she was a really good sleeper. Her sleep was like, her daily sleep was quite irregular. I just fed her when I felt she wanted to be fed, and she slept when she had her tummy full, because you know, eating is a job for those little newborns and it's really tiring. So pretty much as soon as I fed her, she went to sleep and slept for like an hour or two or something like that. And I was like, oh, this is great. And she also developed this pattern of cluster feeding right before she went to her like nightly sleep. So at first I was so tired of this because she would pretty much cluster feed from like 9 to 11 p.m., which is what she kind of chose to be her like going to bed time. It was around 11 p.m. So she used to cluster feed for a few hours. It was really tiring for me, but it was great also because that meant her tummy was full and she would sleep in like 4 or 5 hour stretches. Um, sometimes sometimes she would do like 6 hour stretch, her first sleep of the night, which was great. So I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like her first sleep used to be like 4 to 6 hours, and then she would wake up. I would feed her, and she would go back to sleep again. And her next stretches of sleep would be like 1.5 to 2.5 hours. Great, ideal, amazing. Didn't stay that way. I'll get to that. During daytime, I tried to give her as many different places and ways to fall asleep and sleep as possible, because that way she'll be able to fall asleep wherever we go or wherever we are or whenever. And what I usually do is I feed her, and then I either rock and sing her to sleep, or I'll bounce her to sleep when she's sitting in her bouncer. Pretty much just rocking or like moving her, bouncing her works the best. We also have a white noise machine, but I try to give her like different places to fall asleep. And she used to be really good at falling asleep in her pram. So we would go outside, I would put her in her pram and maybe like get to the end of the street and she would be asleep. And I could just have a little walk by myself, which was really fucking nice. That also changed. So the first month was pretty easy because newborns, they sleep a lot and they eat a lot. Eating is tiring for them, so they sleep, they wake up, they don't have that much active time, because they can't really see that much or anything. But then everything changed when she had her first growth spurt and mental development leap during, I think it was around 6th week. So suddenly one day she wasn't as great of a sleeper anymore. She didn't want to eat as much. I was really stressed out. I was like, what the fuck is going on with my baby? Why does she hate sleep? So I googled a bit and consulted with other moms, and yeah, that's when I found out she was going through her first mental leap, which is really tiring for babies, and everything starts to change around them. So then I discovered that I was going about sleep a bit wrong, if that makes sense, because she would stay up like a few hours before falling asleep, and I was like, oh cool, she's awake, we can like talk to her and cuddle her and everything. But that was actually quite wrong of me, because babies need to sleep a lot and she was just overtired. So when that growth spurt and mental leap hit, it hit us hard because she was already really overtired, and then she was like learning all those new things and abilities. So I decided to have quite a strict regime with her sleep. So what I do is I track her sleep in an app called Huckleberry. I just track her sleep, so whenever she falls asleep I just hit like start, and whenever she wakes up I hit stop. And then I try not to allow her to be awake for more than an hour. Usually when she's been up for 35 to 45 minutes I try to make her go to sleep by feeding her and or rocking her and or singing to her whenever I can to get her to sleep, because it's really apparent when she's awake for more than an hour. It's a nightmare to get her to sleep again because she's overtired, and babies aren't born with the ability to fall asleep. No one is born with the ability to do anything really. We have to learn everything, and sleeping is something, or like falling asleep is something babies need to learn. And who's there to teach them but us, their parents? So yeah, won't let her be awake for more than an hour like at once, and it's worked out quite well for us. She usually falls asleep in like 5 to 15 minutes, which is great. We have a bit more difficult time to get her to fall asleep for her night sleeps, because she's usually like overstimulated and cranky and tired from the day, because she just learns so much every day. She sees new items we have at home, we go to new places, meet new people. It's really tiring for her, but it's okay. I say it's okay now, but I'm a mess at night when I have to put her to sleep. But she still does like those nice long stretches of first sleep, which is great. Her absolute record has been 7.5 hours of uninterrupted sleep. 7.5 hours, that's more than some adults get. So I love you for that, Aurora. Well, I love you anyways, Aurora. She's absolutely perfect. She also had her first cold. She got a little wind when she was naked. Why did I say it like that? She got some cold gusts of wind on her when she was naked and got a runny nose immediately. So one night I just woke up like, why is my baby like slurping? Luckily we had everything we needed to clear that out, but it also kind of cleared itself out in a week. Didn't really interrupt her sleep. Well, it did interrupt her sleep a bit, but didn't interrupt her feeding, which was great, because the dangers of like runny nose and stuffy nose with babies is that they can't breathe, so they can't eat because they only breathe through their noses. So if you want some tips on how to survive a cold or like a runny nose with your newborn or baby, let me know in the comments. I definitely have some tips, but this video would get way too long if I talked about it now. So the first month was all in all pretty great. We learned a lot. We learned as we got along. We all learned. Aurora learned, I learned, her daddy learned. So from the second month we started to interact with her a bit more, because she started to see more and move more. We encouraged her to move around with her legs and hands, and basically we just want her to move because that is gonna activate her body quicker, and she's just gonna have more fun when she can move more. She's a really happy, smiley, bubbly baby. Her first smile was pretty early on, like in the hospital I think, but I think from like the second month she started to smile with a purpose. Like we talked to her and she just shines with happiness. It's so amazing to see. Especially now, she's going through her second developmental leap, and whenever she isn't cranky or overtired, she's really happy. She talks a lot. I wish I could understand her, because she's just like blabbling away. And she's really, really smiley and happy. She loves to talk and smile. Oh, so great. We went to the doctor's yesterday for a checkup, and her doctor was so amazed, like, oh, she's just such a great baby, smiling a lot and everything. But she wasn't always that happy. During the first month, she had a lot of gassiness and stomach pains and everything. That was really, really tiring, and it's really painful to see. We tried to help her, and this is also why we try to encourage her to move her limbs a lot, because you know, babies get gassy because their stomach is developing and it's normal, but they're also pretty inactive. So when they just lay on their backs all day, nothing is moving in their stomach, and it's just bubbling away there, and it's painful. And when she moves her limbs, she gets those gases out, hopefully. I'm speaking with my hands again. This is great. You're gonna have a lot of fun watching this video because of my hands, hopefully. Bath time helped. She loves water, she loves bath time, and we're gonna go swimming with her soon. Not like to the spa or anything. She's gonna have just a little like swimming class training. I know how to call it. Oh yeah, and we switched up her vitamin D, and that helped a lot with the gassiness. We switched to vitamin D that has probiotics, or actually it's probiotics that have vitamin D in them, and it's really helped her. We are also going to fulfill the national vaccination plan. So she had her first vaccine when she was 1 day old. It was a tuberculosis vaccine, and she got that in her arm. We all have that little scar somewhere here, can't find it anywhere here, but she has it. It's healed perfectly now, didn't bother her at all. She got her first round of rotavirus vaccine yesterday. Hasn't affected her. I was pretty scared of doing it because I heard that it can cause more gassiness. Hasn't so far. I'm hoping it doesn't, because you know, we've been giving her probiotics and she's been really active, so maybe her stomach can handle that. We'll see. So yeah, so far I can see her becoming this really energetic, happy, bubbly, smiley baby. She really loves interacting with people. She loves to snuggle me, and I love to snuggle her. She usually sleeps in her own crib, which is attached to our bed. You can probably see it in the background. So her night sleeps she does there. I sleep right like next to her, so I can just pick her up and feed her and put her back. But usually, like her last stretch of the night sleep, she sleeps between me and my boyfriend. It's really snuggly, and she sleeps way better when she's like snuggled up or like next to us or next to me. She sleeps really well in her carrier. She just loves to be really close. Or like most babies love to be really, really close to their parents. They love the warmth, and they love to hear the heartbeat and everything. Okay, so enough about Aurora for now. A quick update on moi. I can say I recovered like fully in a month. All the bleeding and everything went away, I think in 3 weeks or so. So in a month I was feeling fine. Well, apart from doing anything sexual or like anyone besides Aurora touching me. Don't touch me, don't come close to me. This body is for my baby only for now. I have my like postpartum checkup with my midwife in a week or 2 weeks or something like that. So we'll see what she says about my recovery, but I feel great. I've lost 14 kilograms since giving birth. Okay, I lost like 5 kilos giving birth, like 3.5 of that was my baby, but 14 kilos in 8 weeks. And it's due to breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is a great way to lose weight because it's really tough on the body, and just purely breastfeeding burns about 500 calories a day. Probably even more during the first weeks, because you'll be breastfeeding a lot during the first few weeks. And what has helped with the weight loss has been me being more active. First of all, I rock and shush and sing my baby to sleep a lot during the day, like a few hours a day. I do this, so that's already moving around. We also go on walks about 3 to 5 times a week, and the walks are usually 3 to 5 kilometers. I try to do longer walks now. That totally depends on Aurora's sleep. For example, the other day I went on a 7-kilometer walk. It was amazing, and I wanted to do an even longer walk, but she woke up like an hour into being outside and didn't fall asleep anymore, so kind of had to rush back at home. But an hour and a half of walking, great way to be active, lose weight, get fresh air and everything. And I'm really kind of weirded out that I've lost so much weight because I eat a lot, especially sweet things like cookies and chocolate, candies and crisps and everything, like all the shit food. I also eat good food, but not as much as during pregnancy. I should, but I'm not feeling smoothies right now, so I eat a lot. I snack a lot, and my body needs all the energy it can get. Breastfeeding takes a toll on your body, and you have to eat a bit more than you usually would if you don't want to lose too much weight. I have quite a lot of weight to lose, and so that's why it's okay for me to lose that much weight. Wow, was that the sentence? I haven't been sleep deprived because, as I mentioned, Aurora sleeps quite well. I haven't taken a single nap during the day because I can get my about 8 hours of sleep during the night. Well, it has some pauses in it, but that's okay. I still get 8 to 9 hours. Okay, 6 to 7 on a really bad night, but you know, a few coffees and life's good again. But my mental health is in shambles right now. I probably have postpartum depression, and yeah, it's been really hard. If you're a mom, if you're a new mom, you know how hard it is to lose your ego or yourself, because everyone always talks about, you know, when you have a baby, it's all about the baby and you won't be able to sleep. You're lucky if you're gonna be able to eat. And you know, we all know that, but losing yourself as a person is really, really hard. And I know I'm not the only one who had that little crash. But there's also quite a few more issues, so I am going to see a therapist and I hope it's gonna help. I am usually a happy, bubbly myself, but when I get stressed, I get really angry really quickly and everything, and it's not good. And I, emotions are heightened postpartum and everything. But it's important to get the help, because you have to really work to be the best you, because if the mother isn't okay and the father isn't okay, and the relationship between the mother and the father isn't okay, then the baby's life can't be that okay or that great. So the succession goes you, your partner, and then your baby. You need to take care of yourself before you can take care of your baby. I haven't still gotten like mom friends, but I'm working on it. We have a Facebook group of like June babies and June babies in my local area, and we're gonna arrange like monthly meetups, but it's really hard to arrange something when you have all those babies with different schedules and regimes and everything. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, but for now, I'm gonna try to make videos as much as I can, film as often as I can. I can edit when she's asleep, but it's a bit hard to film because I can't just let her sleep in the other room. We have a baby monitor with a camera. As a mother, my brain is wired to think about baby all the time. So that was a pretty long and rambly videos. So that was a pretty long and rambly video, as most of my videos are. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some new information. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comments section. If you have any requests for future videos, let me know in the comments. I have a few ideas. Some ideas are regarding sleep, especially the sleep regressions, breastfeeding and all the issues that come with that, how to put your baby to sleep effectively, all that kind of jazz. I am learning something new every day. I'm ready to share. Just let me know if you want to know all that information from me. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye!